with technology here.
Okay.
Excellent. So I'll call this meeting to order. Mary, would you like to give the invocation?
Sure. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us all to come together to discuss and to collaborate and motivate as we make decisions in your will, Lord Jesus. And I thank you for giving everyone safe passage this morning, and also give them safe passage as they go home. I trust in you and I believe in you, and I thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So the next item up is approval of the agenda. I would like to, I'd like to add to the bottom under new business, item E, that we discuss meeting dates. I know that we have had a set meeting date before, and then we've kind of just let it flow between what our contractual needs were to get some contracts done and such thing. But I would like to discuss that and see if we could get a firm date for the rest of the year. And that would be my ad. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? A second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? We have an agenda. Recognition of the public, seeing none, we'll move on. Have approval of the minutes from January the 20th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have approval of the minutes. Report of the committee chairman. We have a couple of items I'll speak to as we get to them today, but also one item that just hit our desk in front of all of us I'd like to bring under my report. It has to do with the insurance for EMS. Do you see the email? It just... Ms. Wright, it looks like this.
Don't have one.
Just another if you don't.
So last year at some point in the finance, and looking through the budget and stuff,
It's this.
This?
Well, it's got,
Oh, it's two.
yeah.
okay. So in looking through the budget last year during the budget process, I think it was brought up that EMS actually has an insurance policy that they manage themselves. And if you recall, this committee had discussed in the last 12 to 36 months, some period of time, that all insurances would come through this board. And that was in regards to when we looked at the EMA's insurance. And we had several meetings and discussions regarding EMA's insurance and how it was handled. And I believe the final conclusion was that all insurance would come through this board. If somebody could help me out with that.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. Since we're doing that, that's what we decided.
So as I said, it came up that EMS has been handling their own insurance.
Yeah, through who? EMS through whom?
Would you like me to elaborate on this?
Yes, sir, please.
EMS has a policy, I think it's Berkeley is the carrier, but it's an attorney out of Memphis. And I don't usually find out there's EMS cases unless by happenstance this attorney contacts me for some additional information. So I've been dealing with this attorney on some side issues for a while. He seems to do a good job, and I see no reason not to use this attorney who's being paid through the insurance. But the problem I'm running into is I have no idea what cases EMS has floating out there. If there's a potential of an overrun on insurance, county may have to pay some money. Basically just a status point for me. I don't know. I have since reached out in the past week to the attorney, I think his name's Brad Gilmore, and he's linked me into some cases that he has now, so I should be able to set something up and at least be a part of the plan. EMS's big hiccup with me being in the loop has been related to HIPAA, I believe, was their
Yeah,
biggest
that's what he said.
concern, but I deal with HIPAA on OJI, I deal with HIPAA on the medical stuff and everything, and I even deal with HIPAA in my private practice, so I do not know why this should be something that impedes me from being in the loop, especially from the initiation of this case, at least so that I can track them on behalf of the county. So this does not need to necessarily be addressed at this meeting, but I would ask that it be put on old business at some time in the future.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, sir.
could you clarify what kind of insurance? Is it several coverages or just one?
And that's what I was, just wondering.
That's
what
probably why, me bringing it up today and us carrying it over, because you may want to actually get with EMS, we may need some more people here to discuss it, because I have no idea what their policy has in it, what it covers, what the limits are. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, well, the reason I inquire is because HIPAA, it's going to depend on what you're talking about. And insurance is a very large subject. So y'all need to know which.
Well, it's HIPAA related to EMS services, so there's patient information, that's their concern, is patient information getting out there, which is a founded concern. It's just, it's not a concern for me, because I already
Sure.
deal with it.
Right, okay. It's not liability or vehicles or their buildings or none of that
No,
stuff.
it's actions, activities, lawsuits.
Medical
that-
malpractice and so forth?
Basically.
Yeah, okay.
So, you've spoken to them. Does the committee, I have some thoughts on this, but I'd like to open it up to the other committee members first.
Did you put this as item E?
No, but I'm under my report.
Okay.
I deal with HIPAA all the time. I mean, that's kind of like my life. I think that maybe there is, as he said, he's an attorney. He deals with cases with involvement of HIPAA, things like that. So I don't think it should be a trust issue. I think that he's the HIPAA is a need to know kind of basis. That's what the rule is. And just to knowing who, the insurance and the claims, generally speaking, I think it's important for the county to know this. So I would make a motion to put this on old business for our next meeting and ask EMS to come and discuss what they've been doing, if that's okay.
I'll second that, because honestly, I don't really like the fact that somebody from another county, if it's, you said Memphis, is handling this?
No, they're the law firm that this insurance company uses a lot. So when you get insurance, you're gonna be using the attorney they pick, so.
And it's in Memphis.
And that's very common, so.
Yeah, I know, but that's just,
And I will say to his
Yeah.
defense, he's done some good work. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't understand what's going on, it's a problem.
well, we definitely need to understand that.
So I would add to that, outside of the legal piece of it, I'm interested in the claims and the contract, and and how that process. This is the same discussion that we had with EMA. It's like, we would just like, as this board, over the insurance and risk and liability, to understand what our risk is out there and these things, and possibly send it through risk management, as we looked at with EMA. In order to get more information, I would agree with Commissioner Janung that we need people to speak to this. If I could ask finance to send us any documents they have, you probably have the invoices that you've been paying for the insurance. They have a line item for it. So if we could get that and then invite them to our next meeting. But so we have a motion and a second, Mr. Hyde.
I'm just trying to understand this. If they're afraid of HIPAA information out there, no matter who's carrying it, that's got to be a concern. Man, I'm not understanding. Am I missing something?
No, I don't have any problem with the HIPAA. I don't see any, the claims that we look at that come through OJI and stuff, none of us know any of those parties that are involved in them. We see their claims, we see that they're processed, we see that there's internal controls, that there's a separate person looking and processing claims. So we're not seeing any patient information from the other HIPAA items that we see. So in this case, it's no different. We're just unaware that this policy was going on.
It's outside of our scope.
I think to Mr. Hyde's point, if I may, I'm hearing his question to be, what's the hesitation between EMS giving us the HIPAA information versus the way we handle the rest of the stuff here?
Exactly.
And if I am very liberal in my construction of this email, I think his concern is if he releases it, there may be liability on EMS that he's concerned about, but he really doesn't have knowledge of how risk management operates and how that stuff is already covered under HIPAA, and there's nothing he can transmit that's going to be a HIPAA issue on our part, because we're not going to allow that information to be disseminated either. And that there could be a communication problem there.
Could this not be, if we start with exceptions, could this not be a domino effect with places like the sheriff's department?
Yes, that's my biggest concern about this, is that at the end of the day, it's nice that everybody has their own policies, but who's paying for the policy, number one, and number two, when we've done something egregious in that department, who's cutting the check? And at the end of the day, it's the county is the answer to both those questions. So I would say from a legal perspective, I would be advising you to rein all this in under one umbrella so that you can at least say, if you didn't know, you should have known because it was under your umbrella.
And we did, when we made that vote after the discussion with EMA, the same situation.
That was very much the same situation.
We voted that all insurance would be handled through Risk Management Office. At that time, we just didn't know, we were unaware that how this policy was being handled.
Outside of our scope.
Is this the only policy that we're aware of at this time
Yes, sir.
outside that?
It
there
used to
was
be
someone
EMA,
else that
EMA
was-
and EMS, then now it's just EMS as far as I know. But I didn't become aware of EMS's policy until about a year ago because I had that attorney reach out to me.
So we have a motion and a second. Are we ready to vote?
My only concern with this motion, and I think Mary's on the right track, but is this saying that anyone can come now and make an exception or explain it and make an exception? I think we have ruled.
Yes. And I think what Mary is saying is that we're going to vote to have them come and present, but we're looking at pulling them under through risk management.
Well, I think, like
Can you
I say, I
restate, Mary?
think Mary's on the right track, and I would agree with her, but I'm almost to the point of saying we should make a motion that, to reaffirm that all insurance is through this board. And that any insurance beyond that
I'll second
point
that too.
should be paid by the supervisor who is securing that policy somewhere else, because it's sure not county liability. And then if there is an exception to get some new insurance, they should come and ask, may I get this new insurance?
I agree.
I agree 100% with him, if I may, Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
I think the biggest problem right now is we don't know what we're onboarding. So I think if we restate the motion, something along the lines of put this on old business to discuss for the importation of this policy into risk management, then you're both affirmatively saying you're bringing it in, but you're also trying to get all the background information related to it. Because I'm very unclear on what this policy, I know nothing about it.
Well, his motion though is also to say that if anybody is out there, they need to be under this board. as far as
Correct.
that. And so that's why I seconded it, because, yes, we already know this, but if there's any other extraneous stuff out there, they need to let us know, and we need to put that out one way or the other to all departments. If they've got some kind of insurance policy out there that we don't know about, we need to find out.
And I think that we're all in agreement, but we need to clean this up. We have two motions.
So
So if y'all would,
restate my motion to say that, all departments need to present their insurance policies they have to the insurance board to be evaluated, including with risk management, and I'm hoping I'm saying it right. Risk management, and to discuss what their intentions are, kind of
Well,
reading, I'm going on wording.
Yeah, well, we already know what's within us. We need to just say extraneous policies. I
Okay.
guess.
That would be-
Okay.
And if my second would agree to it, I think we should make some kind of a strong statement that anyone who goes outside the realm of securing insurance is doing it at their own risk of paying it personally, because we do
Yeah.
not recognize
I agree.
any other insurance policy.
I agree.
I agree with that. Again, we have a slight problem in that I have a motion over here and a motion over here and a second for
She
both of them.
restated it, but if
She
she would
wanted-
include that.
Yeah,
If she would
so
include that.
So I'll include that anyone that, and also that if anyone, in my motion, anyone that goes outside of the realm of what we have is at risk of, ownership of any liabilities and payment that is gonna incur on that insurance, insurance
Sounds like it.
actions, whatever.
Okay.
We all good?
We'll do.
Second good?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, and we'll move that to old business. The next item up is the report of the finance director.
The November and December financials are included in the packet. Anybody has any questions?
Any questions? Everyone can feel free to call finance. They have plenty of time on their hands right now. Have questions at any time.
Thanks, Terry, I appreciate it.
They're doing a great job. They have plenty of time.
Yep, nothing going on.
Just twiddling the thumbs.
Anytime we have questions, we can call them right up. Do anyone have finance questions at this time? Perhaps, can you walk us through the big pieces? Maybe that would help.
I don't know, what
Which
does that
ones?
mean? Walk us through the
So how much is our total trust fund at this point?
The fund balance is at the end of the fiscal year, are on the report.
Yes.
I would have to do the calculations to tell you what they currently are. I wasn't prepared to.
Okay, maybe we could do that next time.
Is that the 20,900,000 plus?
Which page are you on? Which page is that, Mr. Hyde?
246.
fund balance at the end of the fiscal year was 18,514,000. And then we just have to add the revenues and subtract the expenditures to date to get that current fund balance. And that's just for the health insurance fund that you're looking at.
The 20 million is just the health insurance.
At page 246, that's for the health insurance fund.
And what does the total liabilities represent?
That's, the accounts payable number for 5,300, that's our, excise tax that we're responsible for each year that's previously was paid in arrears. And then the claims and judgments payable, that's the amount set aside for any outstanding potential claims.
So, potential liabilities are exceeding actual funds, is what you would be saying.
No, the liabilities is 1.5 and our fund balance is,
Well, on page 246, what I'm talking about is the very bottom, total liabilities, fund balance.
Got a negative 22,451,000.
that's liabilities plus fund balance. So the liabilities are 1.5 million, fund balance is 18 million.
So if you look at the dark blue areas on the right, the first dark blue area of the 22 million is our total assets. And then currently we're carrying the 1.5 million in liabilities. And then when we get to the fourth dark blue area on the end, that 22 million is simply an addition of the 22 million subtracting the 1.5 million to give us a
It would be a lot more
net.
readable if that was not even at the bottom, because you.
I think that's a function of munis.
Yeah, we can,
Situation.
unless we just write it
That's
down.
very misleading.
Yeah, because that makes it look like we're in bad shape.
I don't know if y'all voted on that software for the new reports that got turned down a while back, but we could have had new reports, but we don't. But this is all we got. I tried.
I don't know how I voted.
I don't know, but I'm just throwing stones at everybody that didn't get passed for new
That
reports.
was the budget committee.
Yes, sir.
Madam Chairman, in the past, this board has employed the services of a CPA to determine something called incurred but not reported. That may be what that liability number suggests. What that's saying is that claims are constantly in process.
Yes.
And you can't just pick a date and say, this is absolutely everything we owe. Because you're self-funded, the incurred but not reported is important for one reason. If you stop being self-funded and say, go to the state plan, and you start paying a premium and they pay the claims, you still owe, in addition to what you're gonna pay for the new insurance, you still owe what's out there, but yet unprocessed.
And if I could step in on that, that is what we see in the liability section where we're still paying for old school accounts where we were with school and we're still responsible for that ongoing injuries.
Yeah, some of those.
So
could
that's
be
what you're speaking to.
lifetime
Yeah,
Ailments or
Same-
whatever.
Same concept.
Yeah, same
You know,
concept.
quite simply, this page here, to me, and I may be the only dummy here, but to me, this appears understandable if that last, you've just taken a number that explains it all through the very first part of that and then stick it at the bottom, it's to me misleading.
Yeah, I mean,
It has to do with government accounting reporting, and this is a function of kind of what, there's a lot of reporting structure that has to be done for
And
government
that-
reporting
I agree,
and
I
this
know
is
you're a
munis.
CPA and
I
agree
will
on
say
it,
they
but
can't do anything about this.
We're not in accounting, and people in accounting would fully understand that, but being stewards
I agree.
of the commission, it needs to be.
So there's a package, it's called Open Government with reporting and stuff, but our budget committee decided it was too expensive to have that for us. So sorry. So, any other questions on the finance today? And everybody, really, I was just kind of joking, but Beth is available for any questions. Make an appointment. She is busy with budget. Thank you for that. Do you have anything else to report from finance?
No, ma'am.
Report of the consultants, 1-to-1?
So I'm Kelly Ballinger with 1-to-1 Health and the on-site clinics that we have. If you do not have a report, just let me know, I can bring you one. So this is all of fourth quarter, so the year end for 2025. And then it just says year-to-date clinic visits by facility. So our Sumner Schaefer clinic is probably the busiest by far. Our patient satisfaction score is 98.5. Keep in mind that that is combined rate with the Board of Education. And then the engagement rate by month, we ended the year at 72.3% engagement rate with the Sumner County government employees, dependents, and spouses. The last one is our text care, and you can see throughout the year it has only grown and continues to grow every month. So we finished the year with a total of 1,469 services to employees, dependents, or spouses. On the second page, this is our clinic overall utilization. So we ended overall utilization at 67.5%. Keep in mind that is the utilization is also combined with the Sumner County Board of Education. And then for 2025, just results for behavioral health, they completed 795 visits, 131 x-rays. And then our wellness numbers, and this is as of the end of the beginning of January. So these have changed quite a bit as far as wellness numbers, because we're coaching patients every day to become compliant. And then obviously some patients are no longer active with us. So where it says like 774 from January to date, 4 of those patients are no longer employed with the government. So it's now 770. Basically, in a nutshell, there's 104 patients that need to complete coaching by the deadline of March 27th. 92 of those are still nicotine positive. And then any updates for 2026 currently, as I'm sure you guys are aware, maybe not, but
No.
the Portland Clinic, we are currently in the TCAP building at the back of the school, and that is going to be under demolition beginning in May. So we are trying to find a space to lease for 2 to 3 years until the new TCAP building is built, because they are building us a space in the new facility. So,
What is your utilization at Portland? How many do you see? And then that's also it's gonna dovetail off my other question, is the visits that we see, the clinic visits, that's only county, we don't know how many is school.
yeah, this is just.
I know, and I know that Mr. Hyde has asked several times to see the school numbers, but in my question here, first of all, in Portland, how many do you see in total between county and school? I mean, how many employees are going to be displaced during? Or not displaced, but, going somewhere else?
Well, we will still be in Portland. We're gonna
Right.
find a space in Portland. So for the year of 2026, there was 926.
Is that just county or is that school?
That's just county.
Okay, how many school?
Give me 2 seconds and I can tell you. And I feel like we asked the Board of Education about giving their numbers.
What did they say?
I can't remember, but I can find out, because I don't know why.
Because we did have more information in prior reports. I believe.
Yes, and I send Amy a monthly report that's just like, every month, it's just like an overall view. So Portland for 225 did 5,235.
So that's in total, or is that school?
That is in total for Board of Education only. And then y'all's was 926.
So when you are looking for another facility, is this going to be incorporated in what you're receiving as part of your contract, or will that be an additional expense to this?
Board of Education is fully taking on the expense of the lease of the new building. Because,
Of leasing another area?
yeah, leasing, utilities, maintenance, anything like that, they will fully take on, and they've agreed. They have agreed to that. It is currently finding available space in Portland that is suitable for a doctor's office of what we're doing, because currently, like, we've looked at an old house, but there's a lot of things that would have to be done, so we are looking every day. So if you see of something that comes available and you're in the Portland area, let me know.
Because you have a lot of volume there.
We do. And they're open 6 days a week, yes, sir.
How long does nicotine stay in the body?
I think the test that we currently run is 30 days.
30 days.
Mhm.
And so you do your test every 30 days?
Oh, no. So we test at the events or the annual physical. If it comes back positive and they want to quit, we get them support to help quit. And then when they have completely stopped smoking, tobacco, vaping, whatever it is, then they can come back and we will retest for negative.
Okay. So,
If they stay positive, they are not compliant, because with the government, you have to retest negative.
okay, so you only test on their,
Yearly, and then
annual
when they are
physicals.
like, I have stopped, let's test.
Okay.
So back to the answer, the Board of Education, they did discuss whether they wanted us to see their numbers or not.
Yeah, we had asked them about sending them or about sharing like bulk information, because we report it as bulk, and then it is broken out into groups. And I feel like they had said something about maybe their finance person reaching out.
Can you let us know? Because
Yeah.
as we go forward and we're looking at this, although we use it less with less employees, it is a group effort, and
Right.
making it sub-optimizing is kind of not very productive. Any other questions on one-to-one? Thank you.
Thank you.
ESP?
Yes, okay, so I passed this long sheet out. This is the monthly look, and one of the reasons we created this was because sometimes financial reports are hard to understand. And this is a nice snapshot, that's what I call it, a snapshot report of the medical plan as of January. So we've got January, and then the chunk below that says year to date. And year to date is for the plan year. And that's what's important to me. I know we have fiscals, we have calendars, we have all these things happening, but to me, for insurance, it's the plan year. So 7 months in, we are still running positive for both the Health RX and Vision, as well as the dental plans. You can see that monthly change. So it was $245 for January on the Health RX and Vision, and that does include clinic. And then the dental was 10. So the year-to-date number is money that should be going essentially into the reserves that Ms. Browning oversees and handles. So for both accounts, everything was running positive this month. The biggest thing I want to point out are actually the two bottom boxes. We do have a person on the plan that has surpassed. So if you'll remember, you all pay yourselves a certain amount, we get Blue Cross to give us quotes on what it would cost to have a $500,000 specific stop loss policy. And we put that in our numbers, and ESP puts that in ESP's numbers, times your population. So you're putting that aside, and that's that. The running county stop loss fund would be 1.3 million. But we have one member who has surpassed 500,000 with a serious condition. No details, no HIPAA issue here, just so you know. We're about 19,000 over that $500,000 limit. However, I do think it's smart to just wait a little bit, watch what happens with those claims with that member, and then eventually, I know in the past, the intention was money would go from that running stop loss county fund, and we pay that off so that we're never spending more than 500 on a member. So, but again, we had, just to tell you how claims kind of happen, last month, we had a couple of people who were over 100,000, which is when I start to kind of watch them. And then this month, only one of them was still there. Like one of them came below the 100 level because there's a lot of auditing, there's back and forth on claims payments. This is a normal process of billing. That's why with the 519, we need to wait and make sure. I have already confirmed with Amy, this person is supposed to be on the plan. That is a typical function of stop losses. Should the person even be covered? If it's an employee, are they at home? Are they moving to Cobra? What's the outlook on this? So anyway, we've checked those boxes. It does seem fully legitimate, but we're just going to wait on those claims to fall out and see what happens. Okay, so that was that member. The other thing is...
Can I just ask
yes.
real quick? In order for that to happen, Beth, if we were to take the money out of the stop loss to, let's say it gets more than, I mean, it's immaterial now at the 19,000, is that going to take a vote of this board, or is that something that is automatically already set up for finance to cover from that stop loss fund?
I have to research it.
Can you find out, because as we go forward, if you're gonna need a vote, we'll be here for you. And also, I'd like to say, we probably need to have an amount, at 19,000, immaterial, but if we get to 100,000 or at some level, if you could come back at the next meeting and tell us what a level you would feel comfortable with bringing something to this board to make that move, I think that would be appropriate, if it's triggered.
And it doesn't
I'm
even
sorry,
happen every
just while you
year.
were
No,
there,
that's
I
fine. I understand, but yeah, processes are important. And it doesn't happen every year. I don't think it happened last year, but the year before it did. So it's just, you just never know what's going to happen. Sometimes there's preemie babies that are born and have to go to the NICU every day in the ICU. You are well aware this is extremely expensive. And so I do think that that's kind of what's the situation here. So hopefully not an ongoing issue. Hopefully we have really seen kind of the end of that trail of those expenses, but to be determined. We never know.
What is the cost of the stop loss policy?
I don't remember what the rate is that I'm pulling out. I think it's around $70. I can look it up and tell you.
70 what?
$70 a person a month. I think it's 77.
And so while she's looking that up, just to reflect on what she has educated us on, it only pays after they cross the 500,000 line.
And it's not a real stop loss policy, so it's you are paying yourselves instead of paying
Yes.
Blue Cross for stop loss. Yes.
If we bought the Blue Cross stop loss policy, they'll start paying at 500,000. Is that correct?
Well, that's where you all were when we started doing this. Yes, it was at a $500,000 amount. I'm having to Bluetooth. Sorry.
We did a 10-year study on how much had been paid out over that amount, and it was not a lot. And that's when the board decided, let's start doing this ourselves and pay ourselves.
Is this $70 a month or annually? or-
Yes, it would be a month a person, a member.
Not employee, it's a member, right?
I need to look.
It may
That's
be a different rate for dependents, but anyway, that's how it's
Can we
Internet
look
is
at
slow.
putting this discussion on a future,
oh sure.
let's go back. I'd like to make the motion that we go to O business and entertain looking at this whole calculation again, as they did in the past, and just to see if we've made the right decision going forward.
Sure. And I can come with all the specific numbers. If we do that, I can come prepared for a full presentation.
Would that work?
I have one up here, that'd be fine. I have one.
I got a motion that we put it to old business and that they come back. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Okay.
You need to get a CPA to do that.
No,
Yes.
that's not.
I just wanted to make sure they were gonna do that.
Yeah, well, okay. I have one other question.
Okay.
like that.
Yes.
How many people have crossed that 500,000 line?
Well, that's part of what I would definitely want to show you. So we have one person this year so far, nobody last year, one the year before that.
I think it was 30.
It was 30,000 over.
30,000.
You reach a point there, though, don't you, Bob, where you have to decide, would it be better to take that money and set it aside? And in the event of someone going over that and helping us with that expense, if they're not any more than that, and we're paying $70 a person.
So you're paying yourselves. We're not paying Blue Cross that fee.
Oh,
That
okay.
was what,
Oh, okay.
yes, several years ago, you all made a decision to pay yourselves. I actually finally got
And this
online.
number at the bottom, I think.
Yes,
this
so the
number,
1
left-hand
point,
corner.
1.3, so 1,392,841.41, that is how much from all of the years past, including the current year, that's how much should be in that fund.
And that was calculated.
Your
out
own
of-
fund.
Blue Cross told us the premium rate would be, if you were to
Yeah.
pay it to Blue Cross. Instead, they started setting that aside in this fund. So that money will be in Blue Cross's
I
pocket
think
right now.
I think I fully see that now.
I was wrong
but
on the fee.
In other words,
Way
what
wrong.
you're saying is that out of this 1,392,000 so forth, we would be taking 19,000 to pay for that over the 5, so we're.
Right.
okay.
And it's all on your, it's really Beth moving money from account to account. If she even has to do that, I'm not really sure
There's a
how.
line on the balance sheet for stop loss.
There we go. And it's
Yeah.
4457. I was way off. I'm very sorry. 4457, and I multiply that times your census. And so this month it was 765 is your census. So that's, and it's that I get a new number every year. I get that approved by finance that, hey, this is the amount we're going to use. And then, yeah, so since 2019, you started paying yourselves. So each year, you have, yeah, that's all separate. So like the first year, you put 64,000 in, and then 131. So I don't know if we want to go over that now, or if you want to do that later.
I'm sorry, I had an emergency today. By 11:10.
Yeah, I can
I'm sorry.
go over this in the presentation later.
Okay.
Totally
and-
fine.
And the reason I'm interrupting everyone, Mary has to go at 11:10,
Mhm.
and I'd like to get along to our broker vote before.
Absolutely. And we can go over this in depth next
If we
meeting.
could, we've made the decision and vote to do
What
that.
is this
number-
cancer
go
or
ahead, Bob.
what?
No.
It's not.
It's not.
This number in the corner has nothing to do with the Board of Education.
No, this is just you all. I have no idea what they're doing. It's just the county. So that's really the focus of that report.
If you could bring
So,
us
yes,
a report, and
I-
we'll
mhm.
take a look back at it and see if we're doing the correct thing, and
You're putting almost $250,000 in your own account every single year. The way
it
that
feels
it's been
like we're doing
running.
the right thing.
It does.
We'll take it.
But we'll do a deeper dive.
All right. Life insurance?
Oh, great. Yes. Okay. Just so everyone is aware, we do need to bid your life and LTD. I've already run that through, or I've informed Amy with finance, with benefits, and then I believe Mindy was the other person that I had spoken to about it. Now I can't remember. Okay. So this is a very, in terms of all of your bids that you do, the most straightforward thing that you do, as long as we're not making any changes. So the thing that we would need from you all is I just need your SIB meeting set in May would be great. And then based on that, I will work with finance, purchasing, benefits, everybody. We will get those dates together. An ad will be listed. I will help run that RFP for those products. That's it. So if we can have a May meeting and just know that it's going to be coming in May for you all to make a decision on which one you want to go through. But we will be using your folks. I will write the RFP specifications, though, just like last time. So,
Sounds good.
Okay.
Does that conclude your report?
It does.
All right. Jumping ahead just a little bit in reference to Mary's going to be leaving and to tell on her dates of meetings. Mary, I just want to make sure that you're coming to the meetings, and right now I have the meeting date discussion at the end of this meeting, which you will not be here. Does any?
Unless we get through that.
Unless we get through. Okay, let's hurry. Let's go. Okay. We'll try to get hurry. Old business then, insurance policies. We have the broker of record, the RFQ. We all had an not intensive, but an in-depth conversation about that at the last meeting. So before us, we have 2 bids, so everybody remembers. Brittany, will you take us through it since you looked at the bids? Just
Tell me
briefly.
what page it's on, because I don't remember.
I think they
It's in the
included it. So we had 2 different responses, or two different companies that responded. So you had your incumbent, which is Bob Seville. Is that? So I think it's right after page 28. Oh my gosh. It's in here.
157,
Oh, no.
that's the other one was all.
Okay. So the actual RFP or RFQ, excuse me, is page 3 and back. So you've got the actual document that was released to the appropriate bidders that goes through page 28. Then after that, which those are just the questions they had to answer. Then you've got the RFQ response from CCMSI, and that is quite a large chunk of paper. That goes all the way through till page 158. And then that is where the Seville Public Entity with Acrisure Claims Services, that's where their RFQ response starts. So it's a lot of information. What specifics do you want? So this is really for broker of record,
Yes.
which really the reason you did this was so that when someone takes it out to RFP every single year, bids your property insurances, so we don't run into the same situation we had last time, which was where everyone gets locked up by one broker. So with property and casualty, it is very different than when we see the life responses come back in a few months. We could get, say I'm an agent, he's an agent, Mr. Hyde's, we can get the exact same bid response from all 3 of us because, say, Blue Cross or Cigna or whoever will bid multiple times through multiple users. However, with property and casualty, the first person who asks, if that's who that's who gets the numbers. And so that's how they lock people out. And that's what happened last year. So you were RFQing for a broker of record, so you would have one person going out to all their contacts to make sure you had the best coverage. That was the initial goal.
Can I ask you a question? When we have a broker record, do they tell us all of their records they get? Like if they go out and they look at 5 products, do they tell us the 5
We
products?
can ask for that. I always ask for that even on health.
Do they
I want
do
to
that,
know.
or do we need it in the contract?
Could you add it to the contract? I mean, would you be okay with that?
Contract, Dan.
You can do whatever. Yeah. I mean, I would think, yes, I have always put it as one of my requirements that I need to know how many declines to quote. I need to know who did you go to even on the health side. So
that's not in these, right? Neither of them.
I
offer
don't
that.
know that it's actually in the RFQ questions, but we could add it as some type of bullet. We need a report on those declines to quote because I think that's your biggest shortfall is
We don't
I
know.
can say all day long I went to 10 different companies. Well, okay, who? So I think that's really the big thing
So
that you all wanted.
If we pick an RFQ, if we pick one, we've got to, let me just say this to the committee, we've got to pick A or B. Today, we have got to pick this. But we have their RFQ. If we have, like, I would like to add that we would like to see their work product. I don't know if that's the right word to call their product, but we definitely need to pick A or B vendor. I would also like to split it apart, if we could, with the TPA. I don't know that this board is ready to make any decisions on TPA. If, you can correct me if you are, but I'd like to entertain a vote for, between the two vendors. So we have CCMS, and then we had Mr. Seville's company. I'll speak to it. I found both vendors extremely impressive. They are doing we're asking them to do the same task, which is to go out and buy our insurance for us and pick our insurance to match our needs. That is what we're asking. They both gave us a price for that buy. The RFQs that we looked at included TPA, which I'm asking you not to consider today because it complicates the item. And we need to have a discussion on what we would like to have and if we'd like to have additional third-party administration of our non-healthcare products. Does that make sense?
Can I ask a
Yes, sir.
Did you ever get a breakdown from this other one, their TPA versus no TPA?
The CCMSI?
Yeah.
Yes,
Did
they
we
had.
finally get a number from
They
them on
they
that?
provided it at the last at the meeting.
Okay, I just wanted to be.
Yeah,
clear.
it was still. I mean, it is still more.
Yes.
They do. I would say are probably thought of more as TPA first, and they can broker and do a good job at both things. So. Yeah, I have a question though for you for legal purposes on the purchasing, if you can answer it now. So if we choose today the broker of record and you get to move forward, are you able to say that, do we have to go through another RFQ or RFP or bid to get them to add on TPA later? Or are we able to say we want this part now, we're gonna decide on the TPA later? Is that okay?
We'll have to do some sort of vote to amend, but it'll be a contract amendment is what's gonna
Okay,
happen.
but
so
not another, purchasing doesn't have to go through a whole nother RFQ?
It depends on what they decide to do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna, that's almost a what-if question.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but it would be a contract modification, which would require the formality of a vote, decide
Okay.
on which direction they wanna go,
Yeah.
then we can investigate the RFQ.
Okay,
And just to clear up, the TPA, does everyone understand that? That's a third-party administrator that would come in and walk more beside Kim and doing more of the processing stuff.
Yeah.
And when we saw that à la carte menu from
both really, yeah.
both,
Yeah.
both of them really had
Mhm.
a à la carte menu for that. So that's the reason I want to put that away for right now. So we have CCMS, their pricing was, if somebody can help me, I think it was around 152.
That was their original, yes, and I mean, that would be the total. They gave us a breakdown of that number, but that was primarily that was the total cost.
And then the other firm, Mr. Seville's firm, gave us a price. I believe it came in this year at $49,000, and with an increase through the years of maybe we would be looking at $52,000 in a year or two. I looked at both.
I'm sorry, you say total price on the first one,
It was like.
what,
for-
what, that was
It's
without
152,
TPA?
845,
Yeah.
no.
We need to be comparing apples to apples here.
Yes, we do
Right.
agree. Let's get that.
So their breakdown, it is this purple breakdown, that's what I was trying to find. So the total is 152, 845. So the excess placement, which would be what a broker does, is 102, 845. The attending on-site meetings is 10,000, account management's 25,000, system access was 75, and state filings is 7,500. So that was CCMSI. And then on, do you have the total for Seville? And Seville was, I think it was 50.
160 is the totals. And page 161 is their breakdown.
Okay. That's what happens when there's addendums too. Okay, so it's saying yes for the Bob Seville, for his, just the broker part, that was the 49,000 for the broker fee. And then if we needed any of the TPA, all the additional stuff through Acrisure, that was the other part, so yes. 49 for year 1, 53.9 for year 2, and 59,290 for year 3.
So are the, so essentially they're presenting both the same product but at different prices? Is that an easy way to say it?
Yes, I think they operate very differently, so it's not exactly apples to apples, but yes, in order through this process, if you want to go with CCMSI, it is about 3 times the cost of
Quite a lot.
Mr. Seville, correct?
I make a motion that we go up to the
I
line. I
second
just
that.
can't see 3 times
I second that,
the
that's
amount.
way over.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we have a broker of record.
And do we need to add to that part, or do we wait till contracting
Yes,
to
I
ensure
would
we
like-
get that list?
I would like to make a motion that we include in the contract that we get their, and if you have better industry words for it, their work product of all of the insurances
Second.
that they
All
are.
quoting companies.
All quoting companies.
Yeah.
And I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Since we're doing this annually, you might want to make a note so we don't forget that next year.
And are we entering into the 3, because they quoted for 3 years. They gave us a rate for all 3 years to be the broker, so is that, we're
It's
good for
gonna be
3?
something you all need to decide, because you wanted to do this annually.
So my motion would be to approve this with a 3-year contract, but each year come back with, if there's any changes or, addendums that may require an uptick in costs, because you never
So-
know.
Yeah, you're saying if Mr. Seville's
Yeah.
cost change.
Right, but to give a 3-year contract, but with the caveat that, that each year they would bring and present the product, and if there's any cost issues as far as having to go up on costs, because,
Well, they're contracted,
Yeah.
from legal can speak to
Yeah,
this.
they're contracting to a specific amount. If they don't deviate from that schedule change,
Right.
they're in compliance with the contract and don't have to come to us with anything unless y'all
Okay.
made a request and
okay.
they said, but there's no, as far as the contract goes, either you're doing a 1 year, or you're doing a 3 year. If they deviate, they'd have to come to us anyway, cause it's a
Right.
contract modification.
Mhm.
I would say for a 3-year contract, because when you start doing 1 year,
Yes.
you get into this, you're locked in a price, okay?
Mhm.
You get locked into a price. If you do 1 year, who say the following year they don't double their price? You're gonna, it doesn't make, and to me, this is different than some of the other things that we vote on for years on end. But I think a 3-year contract would be appropriate because of the reasons that I said, that each year costs could go exponentially higher based on what's going on
It's a
So-
known cost.
Yeah.
I'll second that based on the fact that this is such a low amount that we got this for.
All right, so we have a motion. Yes, Bob?
I just have a little trouble here. From year 1 to year 2, it's $4,000, for almost $5,000. And then year 3, it's almost $6,000. I just wonder why.
Well,
The other one though, Bob,
I
is the
know.
same way.
They're just predicting
I know the predicting.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know
And
whether
please
to
know
do
that
this 3
every
years
year
or what.
they'll still work with Kim, they'll get the numbers, they'll run and get quotes for you, so you'll still be seeing insurance quotes. This is just for the broker. So that process is still gonna happen year over year over year. You don't get 3 years with an insurance company on property. That's not how that works. It's gonna be new every single year, which Kim's already doing that process and running with that. But just know this is the person
they're
that will
just,
be helping.
they're just the buyer,
Mhm.
Or agent, but
the agent to buy, yes, thank you. All right, so, are we good? Any more questions? Have a motion?
So we need, oh, I'm sorry. go
No,
ahead.
it's okay. I have a motion to approve a 3-year contract. It had the stipulation that I added, that we get the bids that were quoted. And I have a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I think what I understood was that you all later are gonna come back and discuss the TPA
Yes.
piece. Since we deal with this a lot and we've run with other groups, when you start having that discussion, there will be, I anticipate, several questions about one item, and that is your plan document for your property and casualty. Just like your benefits, you have a plan document that is a legal document, and that's what the claims payer uses to decide if a claim is covered, not covered, and so forth.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that there, I've never seen it, but I'm assuming there is such a document for the property and casualty, which oversees your OJI, payment of claims and so forth. And so we can be properly prepared. Is it possible we could get a copy of that document?
We have the OJI.
We do have.
Yes, we did an analysis on it, yeah. Is that the
All
right?
right.
Okay, we've done a couple.
So
It's-
if I could just say, if you could provide,
Well,
Yeah.
I've got both.
if we could take this offline and just, you're welcome to contact Ms. White and she will provide the documents that she
It's on our
said.
We have
website,
it,
too.
yeah, we have it.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I just
That's
didn't want to
okay.
usurp this.
I thought-
No, no, no,
Just
that's
make an
perfectly,
assumption.
I think that's, is that, does anybody have objections?
And it'd be good if we haven't looked at it sometime, make us changes made now and then, we just want to make sure.
It hasn't changed at all.
All right, new business, we have item A. No, I'm not, 3, I got it.
Oh, okay.
I know, I already counted, I know. I just wanted her to.
Do you want to do the meeting dates?
Yes, can we jump down to item E for meeting dates, and then Mary has to, Commissioner Janung has to leave. Today is Thursday, usually we meet on Tuesdays. Does anybody, I'm pretty flexible on the day of the week or the time. Is anyone want to throw out what they would like, the day of the week, or
I would like to do the Tuesday 10 o'clock thing.
Tuesday at
That
10?
works at me, for me.
Which,
Well,
or Mary?
I don't have a problem, I can arrange my schedule any old way. But Mr. Schmidt works full-time, and he can't always be here because of his job.
I know.
So would it be okay to have it in the afternoon, maybe he could come in, does he have an
I don't
idea?
know if he has a time he would be. I'm wondering if we should get a replacement.
Yeah, because he hasn't been in a while,
I know.
and we need somebody, quite honestly, Mr. Hyde will be here.
Oh, I
And Roswell, but we need some people that are
I
gonna
would
be
be
here
here in the
next year.
afternoon or morning, Mary, but I don't like afternoons.
Mary's looking at continuity into the next commission.
Because, you know,
I won't be here.
she won't be here, I won't be here, I'm going down
I like Bob's idea of Tuesday at 10 to
All right.
sit
Is there a specific Tuesday, like the second?
Yeah, which
Tuesday?
week would y'all like?
Can we have it the week like where we have all the other meetings, so we can all do our meetings at one time?
Can we have it like third week commission meetings? And that way, we all know we gotta be in town on commission week anyways.
Yeah.
So the third
Third.
Tuesday?
It used to be the Tuesday after commission,
Mhm.
because
It
commission
did.
doesn't always fall the
Yep.
third Monday.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and and commission can't, it just, the holidays and spring break.
I'm with her to have it at the Tuesday after.
Do you wanna just say the Tuesday after commission or the third Tuesday? I
To
don't,
follow the.
to follow the commission.
Yeah,
Okay.
that way, like you said, everybody should.
Is everybody good with that?
I guess, I'm like.
Does this one count for this month?
This is dates going forward, this is February, we're talking about March.
March, April, May, okay.
Yeah, so we'll go Tuesday after full commission at 10 o'clock.
Well, no, we're gonna meet in February though, right?
This is February.
So it'll be in March.
That's why I
March.
asked, just,
Yeah, in March.
It'll be 17th.
March.
So
Okay.
that's what I had automatically on my phone.
Yeah, so, and then I'd like to just briefly entertain what Commissioner Janung is saying, if we would really like to, if Mr. Schmidt is willing to release his seat, to get someone from the commission that's going to bring continuity and continue on this board through the next commission session, that might be ideal. So that might mean the time has to change, something for everybody to think about.
We'll deal with that one at a time.
Yes. All in favor of Tuesday after full commission, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We have a date. Solid date for everybody. Everybody have?
Get out of here.
Yeah. The next item is the Nyhart. I'm not sure if this is coming from finance or legal.
Which one?
No.
Nyhart.
Gatsby.
The Gatsby. I'm assuming finance since it's
Yeah.
about Gatsby.
It's just an update for, to get our interim Gatsby 75 actuarial completed.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with, can you just give me a
It's
really
for the-
brief, like even just the title of Gatsby that we're talking about? Is
It's
this
for
a new
other
one?
post-employment benefits.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. It has to, is it regarding benefits?
Other post-employment benefits. They do an actuarial.
How is this affecting us specifically? I mean, the new Gatsby, I haven't read it. As a CPA, I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't read Gatsby, but it's not that I'm a list of things.
And this is, we've been doing this for several years.
It's just where we report it in the audit report, the post. This is the huge number that we talked about 3 years ago. We have a lot of unrecorded or liability out there for post-employment. And we're just gonna carry on like we are. And I assume that maybe this Gatsby just solidified that, or did it add more requirements? It didn't add any requirements. It did not, just tell me, it did not say we have to post that.
Correct.
That would be horrifying.
As illiterate, what does the acronym stand for?
Gatsby,
Uh-huh.
Governmental Accounting Standards Board.
Okay.
And there's an equivalent for private called FASB, which is for
There's several.
corporations and so forth, but they obviously are different, so.
We have to do whatever Gatsby says, or the comptroller will come in person probably.
Yeah, you don't want that, is it?
Thank you for the update. ADA compliance, item B. This item, it has to do with a citizen reached out. They're having trouble hearing in the chamber. We've looked into the ADA federal requirements. I've asked Mr. Tuttle to look into this. I also want to let you know that I spoke to our lawyer this morning. Overton County and the U.S. Middle Region Federal Attorney lost a case recently in 2025. Metro Davis has lost cases in 2023. We just have a citizen that says they are having trouble hearing. I've asked IT to bring us options on what we can do and to be in compliance with the ADA requirements. Mr. Tuttle, would you like to tell them what you found?
Sure. We reached out to Arbor Media. That's who the county clerk used in our commission, our full commission chambers. They reported that based on the platform we have, there is no solution for us to give. The only solution we have at this point is to replace that platform.
Replace the platform.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you, why?
Well, since Arbor Media controls the software, hardware, and everything in between, they write the software. If they get to choose, if any outside vendors can offer a solution, and they do not. So they control it from start to finish.
Would an option to this by any chance be to provide some kind of mechanism, machine, or instrument to an individual at request that would help with hearing?
That would be the option that we were shooting for, yes, but it is not, there isn't one that can be brought into that system.
That what?
That will work with the system that's in there. They have a new system their new platform, of course, offers all of those options.
Bluetooth compatibility, that's what we're looking at.
Now, if we go to upgrade and go with another system, we don't have to choose Arbor Media either. That's when we can start looking for someone more based in the United States. You know, that opens up the doors for a lot of different things for us if that's what we choose to do.
The current system is not based in the United States. I want to underline that for,
Absolutely. Carolyn has absolutely no support when you guys have your commission meetings.
Huh.
And that's created a lot of issues for her.
I can concur with that statement.
mhm,
What country?
Netherlands.
yeah.
Netherlands?
It's a lot involved too, because the way the system's set up, your actual meetings are being live streamed from the Netherlands, but it goes through
Mhm.
Portugal. So there's a lot of, on our end for the network, that we have to open up to allow that to be viewed as well too. So we would like to close that up if at all possible, if we choose to go with another system.
So you're implying security risks?
Correct.
Ooh, that makes it even more.
We have all of our systems shut down to anything other than inside the United States unless we have to open it up work-wise to another country because of this.
Do you have a ballpark figure?
Absolutely not, no, sir. I talked with Carolyn, and they were gonna reach out to Carolyn to get that put together. As y'all know, that is in her area, but we are more than happy to help out. And actually, we would like to be, involved with that as we move forward, because IT wasn't involved when this system was brought in last time.
So the audio system is under the county clerk?
Yes,
correct.
yes.
And the chambers, yes.
She's responsible for the meetings?
Before you mentioned the security concerns, I already was concerned about, from a risk standpoint, the ADA compliance. But now that you're bringing up the international security issue, I feel like we should move this along a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things in place to prevent, anything from happening, but again, if I can close up an outside country,
Yes.
I would love to do that.
Would it be appropriate, I'm not sure, would it be appropriate on a request level for this committee to request that Mr. Tuttle and Carolyn and maybe the chairman of the commission work together to come up with a suggestion
I don't know that we need the chairman.
as a request?
Commissioner Becker is delightful, but I don't think that he,
Well, the county mayor, I'll say the county mayor.
well, I think they can do it on their own almost. It is Carolyn's domain.
Well, yes.
I would just like to put a
But
timetable on
I'm hearing him
them.
say that he wasn't involved the last time, and that may
It was all
created some problems.
Mr. Kemp
That's correct.
in the county clerk's position, because that is their domain, and they are completely in charge of it.
I believe Ms. Carolyn
And
would be
that's
more than
why I
happy to.
put it at a
Yeah.
request,
Yeah.
that we request that he be involved. I think he could add a lot of knowledge.
I agree with you. From a risk standpoint, because we stand a lot of risk from an ADA lawsuit, as well as security, I think we could have them come back before this committee and move it forward faster.
Well, with us being involved too, that increases our ability to support the system.
Why would they need
From
to come back to us?
Risk. We're at risk of a lawsuit for ADA compliance.
But we have nothing to do with instituting anything.
I'm confused. What is it that's holding us up from moving forward here? We're trying to
Nothing.
do what?
We need to, what do we need to
Get
do
a
to
new
move? We
audio
need to-
platform.
And you want to integrate what now? That's
Just
where I'm getting
Get a new
lost.
system that's
We'd like a new
Bluetooth
system.
compatible.
And, okay, I thought we were trying to bring multiple parties on board.
No.
Well,
Well, we are.
I'm
It
merely
is-
making a
but-
request that when we do that,
Mhm.
that we have somebody from the commission, such as the chairman and Mr. Tuttle, involved with Carolyn, knowing that she has the ultimate authority, but this is just a request that they be relied upon and involved with.
And just to let you know, I've spoken to Carolyn twice this morning, so I am, and Mr. Total's working with them. So I guess however y'all see it needs to go forward. I do believe, we're gonna need a new system.
we have nothing to do with it, other than
Well, we can say
we're
from,
being sued. I'm just saying that I would make a motion that we ask Carolyn to involve Mr. Tuttle and the commission chairman in working with some kind of program to improve this, because we are liable.
yes.
That's all. We
Okay.
don't have anything.
Okay, so
I
this
believe
is-
that'll help the commission to understand when it comes to budgeting and the price tag and everything.
We'll need that price tag before budget.
Yeah, so then this doesn't even need to be a resolution anytime. This is merely an ask from
Yeah.
SIB, hey, will you three entities get together and figure this out?
That we don't
And-
end up with something from Bangladesh next
Miss-
time.
And-
Or
It
China.
is,
Yeah.
it is a matter of cyber risk. So this
Yeah.
does fall into risk management that we
Yes.
have got to let him
I
say,
feel like it's
this is
here,
okay.
but-
This is a big, big issue and it is just picking up. People are constantly having hacks and breaking in. It's
So it is risk-
it's of
it is our
extreme
meeting.
importance that he is able to feel like he can secure that system and that we don't have a larger issue that happens that's even bigger than ADA, which
Yeah, it is. This
it
is
hasn't hit
bigger.
you, but you know, Blue got hit. Everyone's been hit at some point, and you need a risk management step. We've got to say you've done your best in trying to stop it. So it's serious.
So we could keep it here and get the thing, and get the system taken care of from this committee
Until it becomes a budgetary issue,
until it comes to what?
a budgetary issue.
We'll need a budget number soon.
I believe
Within weeks.
their contract renews on the fiscal year.
So all we
Current
need, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The
So-
current vendor's contract renews
This-
each fiscal year.
And Carolyn signs off on it? Yes.
So then all we need is Mr. Hyde's motion that, the three entities work together and coming up with a solution to report back to you all, and then we can move from there and get it on budget based on whatever the numbers come back
And
at.
a number for budget going into this budget will mean real quick. Because, can you just throw us out a number? I mean, we won't hold you to it. What do you think this is gonna cost us?
Well, I got a question first. Does the audio and the screen and all that integrate with one?
Yes, sir.
It does?
Yes, sir.
We looked at a program that would, a couple of years ago, that would,
We looked at a program. The thing was, it didn't include the video feed. The program that we looked at that conference didn't include the video feeding that they're doing. They're housing our videos. They're doing they're
Well,
taking
they
care of
may
our
not-
cameras
may not.
and managing all that. The
Yes.
system that you're talking about, it didn't have the capability of doing that part.
Well, I know a year or so ago when they looked at Arbor Media upgrading, I know it was definitely six figures. It was 100-something thousand. I don't remember it off the top of my head what it was, but I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna be leaning toward at least that, if not a little more.
What last time I was involved in this, the numbers was coming out around 150.
Annually. And then we would have an equipment cost also. So this is quite a budget hit. That's why I'm saying it has to be in front of budget almost immediately to make it happen this year. Because we're gonna have
Or
equipment.
just the upgrade piece?
No, that won't be the annual cost. That was bringing in new equipment.
So that's the new equipment?
Yes.
Excellent. So what's
But
the annual?
annual cost, I believe, was, what is your annual cost, Randy? It's
Around
not,
10,
Yeah.
11.
Oh, good. So it's a
So-
lot cheaper. That's great.
To expedite things, Terry, do we even need to have it come back to us? We're not involved in this in any way other than liability.
And liability, that we
And
just
the
need it
budget
done.
hearings are coming up in March. I think we should just make this suggestion to them and ask them to move forward, bringing something forward to budget.
Okay.
That'd be
Well,
part
I
of my
like it.
motion.
well, I mean, we need to express those two situations, ADA and liability and risk management.
Yes.
So.
One of your concerns too, though, is if Arbor's contract renews July 1, I don't know what the terms are, how you get out of that contract, but you need to be aware of that. You may not.
There may be a time that we can't get, I mean, we
Correct.
might need a bigger time.
So we need to review that because you may need to move forward this fiscal year. I don't know is,
I understand. I told, the county clerk, Ms. Templeton, I would come see her after this meeting already. So I've had the contract in my hand, but I haven't read it in 2.5 years.
Worst case I see it legally is you're just double paying somebody for 6 months, as long as we got enough of a window to terminate.
Nice, I like that. So we're making a motion to send this to budget, knowing that they're gonna come in with the details to help budget move forward.
That's my understanding, yes.
Everybody's good?
Yes.
Do we need a motion on that?
I do have a question.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
When we look at these systems, would we want to look at also integrating this room into the same system?
My read, and I'll turn it over to you if you want, but my read this morning on the ADA law is that other entities have been held responsible for that, and that requires mics.
That's
I
I will say this,
part.
it went to committee level, so if there's an ability to integrate this room into the full system, that would be a wise decision to do on the front end.
Yes, and then the ADA law specifically calls out courthouses. And I spoke to one of our judges this morning, he's not sure, and, we spoke, so I don't know if we can get a discount, a bundle rate.
They operate under the AOC, so I really have very little latitude other than facilitate getting individual people in there for ADA issues, but beyond that, the administrative officers of the court,
Do their own thing,
they put out instructions on that.
just trying to save a dime. All right, so we have a motion for it to move forward to budget with details coming from IT and the county clerk.
Right, and anything like this room or anything else, that's the purpose, having these people involved. So that-
Now, we are handing it off to budget, and we are looking at risk here. We're gonna be happy with whatever they decide.
We have to, I mean,
And then
we gotta
we can
stay in our
evaluate it.
ballpark, and that's,
You always have the option to review the risk side of this. It's not something
Okay.
you've got to keep putting on the agenda.
Excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. I made the motion. Did one of you second, for the record?
I'll
Let's do that
second.
again. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. OJI revisions. We've looked at the OJI policy. Thank you, Mr. Tuttle. In the past, not in a couple of months, but we've looked at it in the past, and we went through it, and we have asked our consultants to go out, and they've given us a report back on some of the items. It is outdated and needs some revision. We have asked for prices on how much that revision of that policy would cost, and so we just haven't made the vote to do those revisions. 5,200. Thank you. Is that, and we were looking at hiring our consultants here to do that, to revise our OJI. Is 52 what y'all
I was
agreed
just
on?
looking. I think if they pulled, yes, it's 5250 up to a max of 8750.
Can you speak to the max?
That is just, so there's the minimum, which would just be the normal contract amount that you're used to seeing. The maximum would be if anything else additional comes up where we need to do extra work. It just adds an hourly fee. We'll keep up with our hours on this project. So it's just an in case, it's definitely not a given.
And just to be clear, they've already pointed out the issues with it. This is just a matter of redrafting a complete policy.
Yep.
so moved.
Can I get a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So if we could get that started, just a quick question after the fact, when could we see a product?
I would think, because of other things that are going on, I would think maybe end of March. Would that be good? I feel like we'll have some significant work done by then, so I would think we could be looking at this in March.
And the
Maybe
March-
not by the SIB, I'm not totally sure.
So
It's just, there's a lot
April,
going on, sure.
we could have you could give us an update in March and then have
Mm-hmm.
a finished product due in April.
You know, the key thing is turn around when we run into something we need or data or whatever.
We get it.
Is that workable? Because I know they'll be taking your time to talk about questions and stuff.
Yeah.
They've done most of that already, so
Yeah, I
once,
saw
once
we
we
did.
get it, we'll let you know. we
Yeah,
have
just
it.
My packet of questions,
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, all right, great. So the next item up is the risk management pay logs.
November and December's included if you. Have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
I broke my packet up, sorry. I know I saw it earlier online, but I have it now. Do you have any items that you'd specifically like to point out or anything out of the?
It's just pretty
It's the
cut and dry for
routine.
me, but
On the first, on 271, was a county clerk for almost $10,000. What,
that was a surgery.
Surgery.
Oh, I'm sorry. It says, does it say bill review beside it?
yeah,
Okay, we had the month before, we had paid for the surgery, which was almost, I think it was almost $90,000. That's the bill review. Once we receive the bill and they send it through the process, we have to pay a certain percent of the savings. So they drastically cut that surgery bill down. So that's just the percent of savings that we had to pay the bill review company. I think they cut it like $55,000. So that was the,
I have a question. Carvel is our bill reviewer. Are they the only, and I know that,
no, there's multitudes of companies out there that does the same thing. That's just who we've used.
is there any benefit to bidding that out or taking another look at it? And I'm not saying you're unhappy with it, or I don't even know the process.
Yeah.
Is there any how much do we pay them? Is it under the bid levels?
I mean, it's a medical service, so I don't think we have to bid it out.
You're saying it's a professional service?
Professional service, I'm sorry.
And it falls under that realm? Solid?
I mean, that's what we were told in the past, so, yeah,
You could, but you don't have to.
yeah.
How much do I know before I had the numbers for Carvel, a little bit confused. How much do we pay? We pay them a percentage of what they find? Is that how it
What
works?
they did
Percentage of their
save us.
savings.
So if you see a bill for 10 grand, they saved us probably 60 grand. So you're paying 10 to save 60.
Any questions? Y'all are still reviewing?
there's just so many different ones.
My question would be, what account do we pay? I know I've looked at it before. No, I'll look it back up. I know I've looked at what account we pay Carvel out of. I think we pay Carvel out of the same account we pay the consultant fee here out of, or we pay part of the Carvel. We pay part of the Carvel fee out of that account.
Well, I have to pay for a Medicare report that they have to file for us monthly. They keep up with our Medicare status MSA report, and that's what comes out of the consultant's fees. That's $1,000 a month. And they report quarterly to Medicare on our medical, our occupational injuries claims, because Medicare has to know.
Who does the Medicare report for EMS? Because they must be doing one also, right? Or
I mean, I don't know what they do. I just have to report occupational injuries.
Really?
Anyone comes up, anybody that's over
well, anybody can qualify for Medicare anytime in their life if
This
they
is-
have any disabilities or anything. So I never know who's gonna be a hit, but anybody 59 and a half or over has to be reported.
So yours are different, because you're reporting on employee Medicare,
Correct.
and they're reporting on patient
Yeah.
Medicare.
It's
Got it.
more of a vendor situation.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for
I
that.
see a large number of EMS claims here. And also looking at the sheriff's app, I see a great number of people that are put in jail for assault on first responders. Are you familiar with any claims as a result of that?
Well, I mean, our correctional officers are always being,
I mean, EMS.
EMS, no, not anything related in the EMS.
So it must be
side.
minor. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you see that? Where do you see that at?
On the sheriff's app.
Oh, okay. Also, to bring it to y'all's attention, I went to the state government affairs meeting last Friday, and they discussed that they want, and they're looking at it at the state level, to allow the sheriff's office or another entity such as a PD to take the patient to the hospital instead of us jailing them. Let's say there's a huge medical need. It's to take the burden, yeah, you're shaking your head, you know what we're looking at, to take the burden off of our jail system. So let's say we're gonna pick up a lady and she's in labor. Let's don't take her to the jail and pay for her labor. Let's take her to the hospital and let her admit herself and let her pay for her own labor. So at the state level, they're looking at a bill that we can make some MOUs to do that.
Yeah, that has been an issue for years. And county government when that sheriff arrests the person, I assume they've done that, and then they take them to the hospital, right? After they're arrested.
I don't know about the legality.
When you arrest someone, you are taking control. As if they are in jail. They're in jail from the
They're
moment
ours
they're
to-
arrested, which puts their health care under your dollar here. That's one of the most, I've talked to a lot of sheriffs, and the most unpredictable line item in their budget is that medical cost. Because you arrest someone who has a heart condition, or has cancer, or has ongoing treatments. It's, there's some state things, and it's jumbled, but the bottom line is, it's possible, and that's probably why they're fighting this, is to get, okay, let's push some of that off of us.
Yes.
Until the child's born, everything's fine, and then we put her in jail like everybody else. Yeah, then if she has a heart attack or the flu or whatever, we'll treat it and pay for it. So it's a big expense.
So that conversation's going on at the state level. And as the County Commission Association, we supported that action strongly.
That would be a help, but I'm still curious as to what would happen if the sheriff's deputy ended up going to a house and the lady says, well, I just choose not to go to the hospital.
Can't take them if they don't want to go? I don't know. That would be a good conversation to have with the sheriff.
Well, if they're arrested, they.
Are there any
They're
more
arrested
questions?
and they're under us again.
Any more questions regarding the,
That's what I was wondering about. One way or another, we're
the
going to.
pay logs? No. Thank you. Motion for meeting adjourned?
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sitting through all of this. All the time. You sit there so patiently all the time.
He's just like.
And we never